We are live with the action as Sean Brady completely shuts down the noise coming from Joaquin Buckley ahead of their clash at UFC 328. Brady is completely focused, dismissing all the pre-fight theatrics and sticking to his proven game plan. He told reporters he's not interested in any personal beef, emphasizing that his focus is solely on imposing his grappling style and taking the fight to the ground. We break down exactly what Brady plans to do against Buckley on Saturday night.
Here's a simple way to protect your phone without stress. This Allen 3-pack comes with tempered glass screen protectors, camera lens protectors, and an installation frame for an easier, cleaner fit. It's clear, case-friendly, and built to help guard against scratches and everyday bumps. Check the link in the comments to get it on Amazon.
Next up, we look at the evolving landscape of the division as middleweight prospect Ateba Gautier prepares for his fight against Ozzy Diaz at UFC 328. While the main focus is on the upcoming bout, the conversation turned to potential future matchups, specifically mentioning Basanger Suzerkiev and the possibility of Gautier moving up to the light heavyweight division down the line. Find out what Gautier is saying about the attention he pays to other fighters in his weight class. Now we dive into the main event hype for UFC 328, where championship battles are set to ignite. We have the middleweight champion Khamzat Chimaev squaring off against Sean Strickland in a massive grudge match. Plus, Joshua Van is hunting for his first flyweight title defense against Tatsuro Taira. We bring you all the essential details from the UFC 328 pre-fight press conference, including what UFC CEO Dana White said about these massive matchups. And finally, we get the inside scoop on Joaquin Buckley missing the main press conference for UFC 328. Buckley shared his feelings about not being included with Sean Brady, and he laid out exactly what he needs to show the world on May 9th to prove himself as a superstar. Don't miss a second of the action. Stay with us for all the latest updates. Sean Brady has firmly dismissed the pre-fight theatrics surrounding his upcoming bout against Joaquin Buckley at UFC 328, focusing instead on his established game plan for the contest. Speaking to reporters on Wednesday, Brady downplayed the hype, citing a previous interaction with Buckley at the UFC Performance Institute as evidence that the buildup was exaggerated. Brady stated that his conversation with Buckley was brief, lasting only about 5 to 10 minutes before he and his coach departed. Brady emphasized that he has no personal animosity toward his opponent, asserting that he is focused strictly on the fight itself. I have no bad blood against anybody that I'm fighting. I'm a grown man. I don't have grudges or personal beef with dudes. We're going to fight Saturday, and that's it for me, he declared. He dismissed Buckley's attempts to adopt a more character persona, labeling it as inauthentic social media behavior. Instead of engaging with the surrounding noise, Brady reiterated his consistent approach, imposing his grappling and controlling the pace. That's my game plan essentially for every fight. Go out there, take you down, and I just think I'm more of a submission threat than Kamaru is, Brady explained. He further outlined the anticipated dynamic of the fight, predicting that Buckley would attempt to maintain a stand-up battle, while Brady would prioritize taking the fight to the ground, making the key factor who could establish control first. Middleweight prospect Ateba Gautier is facing Ozzy Diaz at UFC 328 this Saturday, but recent media discussions have focused on a potential future matchup in the light heavyweight division. During Wednesday's media day, Gautier addressed speculation about another 185-pound contender he might face down the line, Basanger Suzerkiev. Suzerkiev had previously suggested that Gautier would find a fight with him to be easy money. Gautier acknowledged paying attention to the entire middleweight landscape, but clarified that his attention to Suzerkiev was no different than his attention to any other fighter in the division. He stated, "To be honest, as a fighter, I pay attention to every middleweight fighter, my division and stuff. Pay attention to him particularly. No, the attention I give to him is the same I give to everybody else." When discussing the easy money comment, Gautier dismissed the implication of injury or a difficult fight. He remarked, "How can it bother me? It's just a word. If you say something, I don't care. It doesn't affect me." He added that while some might use the term to suggest a low-risk opportunity, he remained unfazed, stating, But anyway, it's fine, he's fine still. Looking ahead, Gautier has indicated potential future movement in his career, suggesting a possible transition to light heavyweight. Move to light heavyweight, probably eventually one day, he commented. However, he emphasized his current focus, noting that he is actively cutting weight to compete at 185 pounds for the upcoming event. Gautier continues his training regimen, which includes sparring with heavyweight talent such as Octagon MMA champion Will Fleury. Newark, NJ, the anticipation is building for UFC 328, headlined by two highly anticipated championship matchups. A live stream of the pre-fight press conference is available, featuring a look into the build-up for the card. The event will be held at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey, which also hosts Saturday's main event card. The main event pits middleweight champion Khamzat Chimaev, with a record of 15-0 in MMA and 9-0 in the UFC, against Sean Strickland, who enters the bout with a record of 37 in MMA and 17-7 in the UFC, in what is described as a grudge match. Co-headlining the event is Joshua Van, who is aiming for his first flyweight title defense against Japan's Tatsuro Taira. Van enters the fight with a record of 15-2 in MMA and 9-1 in the UFC, while Taira boasts an impressive record of 18-1 in MMA and 8-1 in the UFC. The UFC 328 pre-fight press conference is scheduled to begin at 5 p.m. ET or 2 p.m. PT. The press conference will feature the four fighters involved in these championship bouts: Chimaev, Strickland, Van, and Taira. UFC CEO Dana White will be overseeing the proceedings for the event. MORRISTOWN. NJ Joaquin Buckley will not be participating in the pre-fight press conference for UFC 328, despite facing Sean Brady on the main card this Saturday at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. The UFC decision limited the press event to only the main and co-main event fighters. When questioned about his absence, Buckley expressed his feelings at Wednesday's media day. "That's a great question," Buckley told reporters, including Channel YouTube. "I feel like for me, that's where I should have been and where I should be. But May 9, I've just got to show the world why I'm a superstar and why I'm a main event fighter." Buckley's absence comes as he prepares to face Sean Brady, a seasoned opponent with an 18-2 MMA and 8-2 UFC record. Buckley, who holds a 21-7 MMA and 11-5 UFC record, has been focused on his development leading up to the fight. Reflecting on his recent career trajectory, Buckley noted that his six-fight winning streak was recently halted by former champion Kamaru Usman in June. In response to this, Buckley sought guidance from Usman, spending time at Kill Cliff FC to refine his skills. "The training has been good," Buckley stated. "A lot of people are going to see all the things I learned from Usman, from that fight, and the things I got to work on skill-wise when I was competing with him just in the gym. May 9, the world is going to know all the things that I worked on with Kamaru Usman. The focus now shifts entirely to the upcoming bout.